Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about some interesting things in regards to the IMF. We're going to be talking about, some other stuff as well in regards to Ripple and XRP. So sit back, chill out, and let's jump into this video. I hope everybody is having a great day. I currently am not. I am feeling under the weather. Have some stomach bug sort of thing going on right now. It's rough, but it is what it is. We will get through it together. So yeah, let's just jump into this and let's talk about what's happened throughout the market. So we are seeing, Bitcoin kind of just still ranging around these levels. Not much has changed. Overall. XRP is still ranging around the $9 point. We still really need to break over some key resistance, and we really need a lot more strength than what we are seeing right now. The volume is down significantly. There's not too much trading volume on a lot of altcoins right now, as Bitcoin is kind of just still battling against the all-time high until we really get that nice breaking point on Bitcoin. We're not going to see too much movement on a lot of altcoins. Don't get me wrong. Doesn't mean that we won't see movement on altcoins in general, because there is still altcoins making moves on these 24-hour span, up 10%, up 8%, and so forth. But I'm just saying right now, on a lot of altcoins, or I should say the main ones, when we're talking about those large cap gems, a lot of them aren't going to be moving as freely as you would like them to. And it is just kind of the game that we have to play. This is crypto. By the end of November into December, I think that's where the true changing point will actually be. So I'm watching this market fairly closely, and I'll keep a close eye out on it as we do range throughout the week. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about this because I thought this was fairly funny. Of course, this is coming from a little bit of a meme account, but it is, fairly reasonable to, include this, because we do see here the top 10 richest members of Congress have an estimated net worth of $1.38 billion, excuse me. But we need to have banks monitor over $600 transactions. And I just want to say right now, okay, this is the problem. This is the problem with, America right now, is because we have this idea that, we need more taxation. We need more taxation. They want to tax us on crypto. They want to tax us on, of course, capital gains and stuff like that, which, listen, I don't mind paying taxes, as long as other people are paying their fair share. A lot of people will argue, yeah, Jeff Bezos is giving a lot of people jobs, so why should he pay, the full listen, if I'm paying my full taxes, everybody else should be paying their full taxes. And this $600 transaction thing for Bank Monitor goes against our right. First off, it goes against the banking system of privacy, and I think that this is comical, to say the least, when we look at these people who are worth $200 million, almost $200 million again, 179, 157, 154. It's absolutely ridiculous. A combined total net worth of $1.38 billion. For what reason? These are just members of Congress at the end of the day. So where is this money coming from? Now, again, we just hear how to beat markets like a crooked politician. It's funny because this, individual makes fun of Nancy Pelosi's overall trading instincts and stuff like that, calling her the next Warren Buffett. I think that this account is fairly funny, and, a lot of it is, just kind of comical relief, but it is also truth, right? There's a lot of corruption happening behind closed doors. And again, when we're talking about this Bitcoin, ETF, a lot of people were so excited for this. But this goes against everything that Satoshi Nakamoto really kind of wanted for Bitcoin. We're taking something that was extremely decentralized, that was built to counteract the 2008 financial crisis and be centralized and put the money back, or decentralized and put the money back in control of the people instead of the banks and these government entities. And look at what happens, right? We're cheering on an ETF that will essentially be able to be manipulated by these major, centralized custodies, and people are cheering it on. Now, of course, this is a futures ETF, so a lot of people most likely won't be buying into it, but look at this, right? 38 billion Grayscale Bitcoin Trust will be filed to be converted into an ETF. That means those who are holding Grayscale Bitcoin won't have a choice of, having it converted into an ETF or just holding Bitcoin in general. This is why I always say, get your crypto onto a ledger. Get it onto a Ledger Nano S or X. Of course, link down in the comments below. Shameless plug, but it is what it is. I'm just saying, ledgers are the best way to understand, or I should say, confirm that your crypto that you are holding is 100% yours and owned by yours and nobody else. And it makes sure that it won't be, in the process of something like this where it gets converted to an ETF. But overall, I think that everybody cheering this on obviously doesn't understand crypto. This takes away this decentralization of Bitcoin. Bitcoin in itself, though, we've talked about how it's a little bit more centralized than most people actually think, so it is what it is. Now, we also see here the IMF is warning of a global financial system contagion risk from stablecoins. I've always said that, listen, stablecoins are not the problem here. It's DeFi. They don't want DeFi to be around, but I thought this was funny to say the least because this happened 4 hours ago. Now, we do see here the comments were made in the IMF's 2021 Global Financial Stability Report, which said that the risk should be closed or closely monitored given the global implications and the inadequate operational and regulatory frameworks in most jurisdictions. The report called an onset of global standards for crypto assets to ensure consistency and minimize the contagion risk to other markets. The rapid growth of the ecosystem has been accompanied by the entrance of new entities, some of which have poor operational cyber risk management and governance frameworks. Now they're talking about, cyber attacks and hacking and all this kind of stuff. We do see here the report also highlighted the risk from regulation with stablecoins regulated in differently across different jurisdictions, soaring from a $20 billion market cap last year to over $120 billion this year. Listen, they're seeing the growth of these markets. They're seeing how crypto's becoming, more and more adopted and, allowed within these major jurisdictions. And I just think that they want to deliver away from the idea that, listen, they don't want crypto to be in the spotlight. If anything, they want it to be FUD so that people, like me and you, retail investors, move away from crypto entirely. And I think that that is such a false way of going about it. And I think that that is the extremely wrong way to go about it. I'm all for regulating, right? Go ahead and regulate crypto for what it is. It does take away the decentralization, but allows a lot of these utility tokens to prosper in utility and use cases around the world, whatever. Right? But it's one thing to regulate crypto, and it's another thing to attack it and fully try to get rid of it because you are scared that it's going to take the control away from you or the banking system. And I think that this is laughable, to say the least. Now, of course, we talk about this. The SEC is picking Bitcoin and Ethereum as winners because proof of work can't, he meant can't here, compete in a level playing field. The irony is they've picked the losers technically. Make no mistake, this is being done to buy time for Ethereum 2.0 to go live. And I just want to say, and I actually want to comment on this, this is kind of, this is technically the truth. Like, shout out Digital Asset Buy, but realistically speaking, I've never thought about it in this way, and I think that this is a very interesting way of actually looking at it in the sense that they are already picking the losers, Bitcoin and Ethereum, knowing that, when we're looking at these major consensus assets like, the Hashgraph consensus for HBAR or the XRP Ledger consensus for XRP and stuff, these are assets that don't even compete with Bitcoin and Ethereum because there's no actual level playing field for these assets to actually even compare to XRP or HBAR. So technically speaking, I mean, we already are picking the winners at the end of the day. So I think that that is a great way of actually looking at it. Now we also see here, bingo, the entire crypto space has been driven by the proof of work lie. Bitcoin and Ethereum have never had to compete with better tech, and this is part of the reason. Expose them all. The crypto media is a cesspool of middlemen, PR agencies, influencers, data agencies, paid media, and finally earned media. A large chunk of this redistributed retail money comes from Ethereum projects. No one wants to turn off the retail hose. New York Post is more objective here, and I think that this is great to see. I think that finally people really kind of realize in the fact that we need to get away from Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are assets that everybody looks at in the limelight of things and says, these are the best. These are the number one and number two assets, and they are always going to be that. That's not it, right? Once we get out of this Bitcoin-driven market and go into a utility-driven market by something like XRP, XLM, QNT, HBAR, whatever the case may be, that's where we get to the true financial wealth stage. That's where we see crypto become what it was supposed to become this entire time, which is massive innovative technology. Now, I also want to comment on this. Ripple Customer Money Match announced today a partnership with MicroLeap. Now, this is pretty cool to say the least because this is talking about P2P. And I've always said that Ripple is no longer kind of getting into P2P, they're more into B2B, but it looks like their partners are actually getting into the peer-to-peer financing platform system and regulated by the Securities Commission of Malaysia, which is pretty cool to see. But overall, it looks like they're trying to get into the peer-to-peer market as well, which, hey, more power to them. We know that XLM is kind of prospering within that stage, so who knows? But we do see a Ripple Money Match. Money Match and Ripple make it cheaper and faster for Malaysian SMEs to pay global suppliers. So technically speaking, when we're talking about this could realistically be utilizing RippleNet, or I should say XRP, if it is cross-border payments, of course. So I think that this is cool nonetheless. And when we're looking at MicroLeap, they are focused on those peer-to-peer microfinancing, ideas in regards to their, platform, which is regulated, of course. And I think that this is great. When we're talking about what, they could actually do and the overall, possibilities behind this partnership, I think that this is great for innovation. Again, I welcome any innovation. It doesn't have to be just the banking sector. It doesn't have to be B2B or anything like that. I'm more so focused on the bigger picture, which is pretty much all of the money. And of course, we do see here Pakistan authorities face increasing pressure to regulate cryptocurrency as adoption skyrockets. Again, when we're talking about a lot of these massive, regulations that are coming to the space, it all goes by adoption and how massive crypto has become. Again, this is talking about driven by P2P transactions. Like I said, P2P is, I know it's not as big as B2B and banking and stuff like that, but P2P is something to not whelm or anything like that or overlook. I think, in the long-term span of things, I think the top 10 assets when we're talking about it are going to be, I can name a few that are going to be there. HBAR, XRP, XLM, QNT, AOBT. There's a few other ones as well, but XLM, for what it is worth, doing incredible things in the P2P sector. I think that this is going to explode in price this year, and I think that at the current price, it's very, very undervalued because we already know that P2P is going to be the driving success factor for a lot of retail demand. And I'm very excited for the future and for what the future has to hold for XLM and XRP. If you guys aren't holding both of these, I don't know what you're doing right now. But overall, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, if you guys do want more content, you guys are more than welcome to check out my website, NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you guys all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.